Hello, hello, welcome to my channel. Devon Rex for Art here. Some of you know me as Devon, some of you know me as Yolande, some of you know me as Bossy Butt, as Janet calls me, and stay tuned for Janet M. Young stream for the midnight Eastern. I think she's like 11. She's bringing the new year on the Eastern time front, and she's going to be explaining her scavenger hunt that she hosts every year. And welcome to the Streamathon 2025 New Year's Eve Streamathon, and thank you to Raul Reynolds Draws for organizing and hosting, and he's put a lot of work in, so thank you Raul. Check out his channel. So after me, I'm going for 2 hours, and then after me, Raul's doing an hour, and then after him, Carol, my quiet corner, is doing an hour. And then check out the schedule I've got it in my description. Also, you can go to Raul's channel and see it there, and Dar will probably be putting in links. So speaking of Dar, hi Cheshire Cat 1956, one of my fabulous mods. Welcome. I'm going to be saying hello to everybody. If you're watching the replay, you can zoom in till you see stuff happening. Hi Brenda. Hey Brooke. You got a quick walk in with your dog. I'm going to tell you a dog walking story in a minute. Hi Chris Clue. She's in the Streamathon as well. Brooke's going to be drawing and lurking, or people don't like that term. Lurking, I say lurking. I don't think it's a bad term. Hi, Penka. Oh, let's see. Hi, Apple. Hi, Art Junkie. That's Shannon. I think she's in the Streamathon. Hi, Dee Dee. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody. Hi, Dot. Hi, Heidi. Hello, Miss Densham from my kitchen. So got company here, so I can't go to all the streams. I'll be watching a lot in replay because after my stream, we're gonna play games, watch TV, go out for dinner, etc., etc. So I'll have to watch Janet on replay. Okay, so hi Sherry, Happy New Year. So if you're coming in and I miss you, feel free to do a pink hand like Sherry did, or do uppercase like hi Shelly Allred, like Shelly just did there. And I'll try to see you. If I miss you, it's not on purpose. Yeah. So I'm just going to do a quick explanation of what we're going to be doing today, and then I've got a couple announcements to make. So what we're going to do today is, at first I thought I was going to do a Meander journal. This is, Dee Dee showed us how to do, Dee Dee Inkwell there. Shows how to do Meander journal. So this was a big piece of paper. So it's kind of like the size of my desk, and I actually cut half of it away. So what I did on this one is I gel printed it, and then I added collage and snark to it. So we're going to do something similar, but not on this big of a scale. And I'm going to use, so this is art by Marlene. So I used those colors of her art to inspire the background colors. Those are all gel prints onto the paper. So we're going to do that. But we're going to do it more of a zine style. So a Meander journal, you cut up, down, and up, and then fold it. A zine style, you cut it, you don't fold it as many times. Oh, I got a thing there. And you cut it once in the middle, so you have a few less pages. So I didn't really explain that very well. I'll try to link the stream that I did this on in the description. So we're going to do zine style, but I wanted a bit bigger than this one. So instead of using an 8x10, this is just a photocopy of a zine that I then cut down. So instead of doing 8x10, we're going to do it a little bit bigger, and we're going to do it zine style so that we get pages somewhere in between these two books. So those are examples of gel printing. So the background of this on the original was gel printed, and then I added collage. This is some gel printing that I cut up and then put into a grid collage. So I tend to do a lot of jelly printing on my channel. That's one of my stencil designs. I'm a stencil designer for PM Artist Studio. I also design foam stamps for them. So we're gonna play with stencils and foam stamps, but when I started jelly printing, I didn't have a lot of stencils. I'm gonna show you guys, like, you don't need stencils. They're fun, but you can use I've got a whole pile of stuff on the side I'm going to show you, but this is like botanicals. You can use weeds. You can use different media on the gel plate. So I'm going to talk about that. That's botanicals. So I'm going to talk about that in a bit. So when I started gel printing, my main inspirations were probably Patty Tully Parrish and Robin McClendon. So if you're looking for a gel plating book, this is an awesome book by Robin McClendon, and she explains what is a gel plate. It's a gelatin plate, facilitates monoprinting and process and allows them to be available for everyone. So there's different sizes of plates and they're reusable, but you get monoprints, so you get one-of-a-kind prints. So if you're looking for a good book about gel printing, this one's very inspiring. You can also find Robin McClendon on YouTube. She's amazing. And then as I continue my journey and I found PM Artist Studios, I've also learned a lot about gel printing from Patricia and Mariah, and they're on 4 days a week, and that's who I sell my designs through. So these are examples of my foam stamps. So I'll probably use some of those today. This is an example of one of my stencil designs. I haven't used this one yet. This is probably one of my favorite stencil designs, Wonky O's. And then they have other designers and they design their own stamps, so their own stencils as well. So I'm going to use one from Sophia Button today, this loopy one. And I think I'm going to use this Ruin. This is my favorite stencil by Paula Keen. So I'll probably just use those stencils today. We're going to try to use other things besides stencils and stamps. All right. Hi, Michelle. It was nice to meet you. Michelle was in the Streamathon. Please check out her replay if you missed it. Hi, CB. Hi, Utah. Hi, Marguerite. Hi, Laverne. Hey, Janet Boss Lady. Okay, I hope I'm not missing too many people. Hi, Tammy. Thank you for the pink hands that helped me find you. Excellent, excellent. Hi, Liz. Okay, so, but you can use lots of things on the gel plate. So, and there's different sizes. This is my, what I call my big Peggy, because Peggy Fitzmaurice gave it to me. This one is 12 by 14. When I did that snarky Meander journal that I showed you, I used this, I think it's a 4-inch round. 4-inch round. I used a 5 by 7. If you're just starting, 5 by 7 is a great size to start with. And I used the 8 by 10. I do a lot of gel printing with my 8 by 10 plate. Mine are yellow because of using alcohol inks and different things, but it doesn't affect how the plate works. Hi, Barbara Clark. Hi, Michelle. Hey, April. Craftin on the back 40, Juju. Hey, Christina. All right, so, and then they also have small ones. I have these 3 small shapes, square, circle, and triangle. They have like a hexagon and an oval and another shape. I like the gel press. I just find them more inexpensive than the Jelly Arts, but I do not recommend the Speedball. Just want to put that out there before I forget. Okay, so I'm gonna flip through some of my keeper gel prints from the last year that are in my sort of portfolio book. And while I do that, I'm going to make a couple of announcements. So I do tend to do gel printing. This was the Streamathon last year. That's an image transfer. I do tend to do a lot of gel printing on stream because I find it works well for streaming for me, but there's lots of other things I like to do. Hi, Karen, Slap and Paint on Paper. Hi, Diane Bell. Oh, so many of you here. Thanks for coming. Hi, Julie Parker. That's another image transfer. That's an image transfer. So you can use like watercolor. You can use pan pastels. The main pickup for the gel plate is acrylic paint. So, but not always. Anyhow, I digress. So I'm just going to try to flip through without, it's hard not to talk about these things. That's Fun Foam. Okay, I'm going to talk about them. That's one of my stencil designs. That's Pan Pastels, image transfer. So, okay, so I'm going to just flip through. I'm going to try to just flip through without commenting, and I'm going to talk about my announcements. So I do like to gel print, but I do like to do a lot of other things as well, like coloring books, collage, drawing, sketching. I want to make a big canvas for my house, for like our dining room. I want to finish up some journals. And I've been finding lately that I feel like I'm either getting ready for a stream or cleaning up for a stream, and then I'm just burnt out and tired, and I don't have a lot of time to do all these other things I want to be doing. Okay, so my announcement is that starting in January, I'm only going to be streaming every other week, and I'm changing my time. So one of the reasons I'm changing my time is I'm going to be alternating. That's not a gel print, by the way. I'm going to be alternating with Anne Lar. So we're both changing our time a bit, and we're going to take turns. So I'm going to be taking the 1st and the 3rd of each month, and Anne's going to be taking the 2nd and the 4th. Okay, so instead of being my usual time, which was 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm moving to 1 p.m. Eastern. So that's 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So my hope is that by doing, every other week, I won't be as burnt out. I'll maybe be more creative on stream. I'll also have more time to do things that aren't jelly plate related, and I'll show you guys those things when I meet you every 2 weeks. So that's my plan, and I'm hoping you guys can still come and visit me. Hi, Missy. Hey, Lena. So good to see you. Yes, Dee, still on Wednesday. So my new stream time is going to be Wednesdays from 1 p.m. to around 3 p.m., give or take, every other week. So and I'll do a post of this in my community tab, and I'll post it on Facebook and Instagram and whatnot. So, so for example, in January, I'm going to be doing January 7th, so that's next week, and the 21st, and Anne Lar's going to be doing the 14th and the 28th. And we're going to keep alternating on weeks when there's, that's Pan Pastels and one of my stencils. Anyways, on weeks where on months where there's more than 4 weeks, we're going to stream together. So that's a botanical print. So that's the plan. And so I'm just kind of, this is example of some of the gel printing I do if you're not familiar with my channel. I want to do this more. This is like watercolor and inks on the gel plate. I really like that. Collage. I love the doodling and sketching. So yes, so that's some of my gel prints and some of my my keepers. I call these my keepers. If they don't go in a journal, they go in that. Yeah, there's journals I want to finish or I want to work on more, and I just find that I'm just always cleaning up. I'm always cleaning up or getting ready. So I really put my hats off to people like Dee Dee Willingham that streams twice a week, pretty much without fail. People like Janet Young, and there's lots of people here that are streamers, and I appreciate all of you, but I just need, for myself, I need a little bit of a break. Okay, so we talked about, hi Carla, hey View, and Anne Lar, if you're not familiar with her, she does mixed media as well, and she's a very accomplished collage, like she does really amazing collages, and she'll try a lot of different things too. So do you guys want me to keep talking about gel plating, or do you want me just to start? Maybe I'll just start gel printing and we'll talk. I have some like ideas about, what you can use on the gel plate, but let's get started. So instead of using this big paper to do that size of Meander journal, and instead of using like a loose leaf size, I'm going to use a size that's very similar to Big Peggy. In fact, this is the sheet I used to store her, so I'm going to cut her a new sheet after this. So I'm going to do one side, I'm going to gel print both sides. One side I'm going to do multiple layers on Big Peggy, and then we're going to pick it up onto this paper. And then the other side, we're going to use these smaller gel plates to create kind of like a mosaic. I'm not going to use the 8x10 on this because it's going to take up all of it. So we're going to use these sizes on one side, and we're going to use Big Peggy for the other side. And we're going to do it on this paper, and then we're going to cut it zine style and make it a little journal. I'm thinking I'm not going to make it a snark journal. And the colors I'm going to choose, so instead of doing, I do a lot of vibrant colors. Instead of doing vibrant colors, I thought I would do more like, well, these are pretty jewel toned. I'm going to do jewel toned. We'll see what's going to happen. And then we'll add some collage to it if we have time. Hi, Joyce. Okay, you guys can hear me okay? Hi, So Much Glitter. So Much is in the Streamathon as well. Check out the schedule. Hi, Rebecca. So I'd be very delighted if, I know some of you join me on my Wednesdays. If, you know, more of you want to come back, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Okay, so let's start with the stencil. Because, why not? So I never showed this one. This is my, I don't think I'm going to do the whole thing though. This is my newest design. Actually, no, let's not. Yeah, we will. We'll start with the stencil. So what I do with my streams is I have general concepts, but I don't necessarily plan everything. So, okay, so this example, you can use placemats on the gel plate. You can use fabric. So I bought this shirt at the vintage shop, well, like the secondhand shop. So let's start with this. And then once we fold up the book, we're not going to really, it's going to be segmented, so we're not really going to see things. Okay, let's use, so I'm thinking, I didn't pull any paints. I'm thinking, you know what, this is going to end up vibrant. It's going to end up vibrant too. I just know myself. I'm trying to do like a different color palette, but it's not going to happen. So I think I'm going to use, we're going to start with this side because we're going to have to put it aside for drying time. So let's do dioxazine purple and this alizarin crimson, and we'll just kind of do like an ombre. And there's different size brayers too. I like the 4-inch brayer is my kind of standard one. But I also like this big 7-inch brayer. It's great for image transfers. And then this little brayer, I think it's 2 inches, very handy. But the 4-inch is really my go-to. Let's add one more color here. I think I want a dark color though. Here, we'll do this Prism Violet. So I'm going to tell you guys a story about dog walking. And Lucy's fine. She's okay. But I found out she's not, she's no lassie. Let's just put it that way. I'm just going to roll off onto these crossword things. So I took her for a walk yesterday. It was a beautiful, I think it was above freezing. I'm not sure. And I'm just rolling off a bit between colors. It was a beautiful day, and I took her for a walk, and it was a bit icy in some parts, but I'm usually very sure-footed. And I got to the sidewalk part that was just solid ice. So I was just going slow. I could have gone and walked on the road, but I was being stubborn, and I decided we can do it. So I went ahead and I persevered through this icy patch. I was all by myself with Lucy, and wouldn't you know, there was a bit of a slope to it or something, and I let me try to straighten this out. I went down and I fell really hard and I hit the back of my head, like really hard. It was a good thing I had a thick toque on. It was pretty scary. I'm okay, but when I tried to get up, I didn't lose consciousness, but I was quite woozy, and yeah, it was not good. I was kind of stumbling around, kind of wonky. You can also use decorative papers. That's a paper Dee Dee sent me. You can use, so I'm okay, but yeah, I wasn't feeling great yesterday. And I just decided to come straight home. Okay, and this is embossed cardstock that you can use on the gel plate. I'm just gonna try to use a lot of different things today. This is a gift bag with foil, which acts as a resist. So you can use all these things. You don't have to use stencils or stamps, right? This is a foam stamp that I made using fun foam and my die cut leaves. Yeah, so that was scary. So I'm okay. Like today I feel better, but yeah, we went for dinner last night and I decided not to have any drinky poos. This is a stamp I made out of wax seals, but using hot glue, and then I mounted it on foam, and it makes a cool little stamp. I'm just gonna put some on here. So we're just kind of doing a masterboard of nothingness. Hi, Gina. Hi, Riri. Yeah, it did scare the dickens out of me. It did. Like I said, I'm okay. I'm okay. You can use chocolate containers. So we're just throwing a bunch of things at this. And of course, bubble wrap. And most of you here are not new to gel printing, but okay, so I'm gonna put this aside to dry. Yeah, I mean, my whole body is sore today. Yesterday was mostly my head, like the back of my head and the front of my head. But today, I'm mostly good. It's just my, my pride. No, it's not my pride. It's the rest of my body. Yes, doilies are great. There's just so many things. So placemats from the dollar store are great too. So let's do that. So I'm going to use this paper. We're going to start working on the other side of the paper. So let's do the doily here. And I'm just, like I said, I'm not really doing a color theme per se. I do tend to like vibrant colors though. So I was going to try to do more jewel tones, but I see that I'm mostly doing my usual. Okay, so this is just some red. You can use craft paints. When I started gel printing, I used mostly craft paints. You can use expensive paints like golden, you know, professional paints. I find Liquitex is kind of a sweet spot for me. I find it's reasonably priced here, and it works really well. I like it. All right, so I'm just going to use this placemat from the dollar store. Oh, Riri, thank you so much. That's very sweet. Yeah, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. Hi, Margie. Carol, did I say hi to you? I know I saw your comments, but Carol's going to be streaming after, well, Raul's after me, and then Carol is after him. So what we can do is we can just, while that's wet, we can just go ahead and put it on here. We don't really have to wait for it to dry and put another layer. So that's just one layer. I'm going to move this big sheet off because I don't want to dirty it. I want to save it for another day. Okay. And then if you pull it up right away, you get some stuff left on the plate. So let's add a layer to that. Let's add one of my stencils. Let's do, should we do black? We could do black, sure. Let's do black. So I'm gonna get this whole sheet done, and then I want to cut it and fold it to show you guys what I mean. All right, so this I'm gonna just, whoopsie, oh well, there's a hole there. I'm gonna put, this is my wonky O's. This is the 5x7 version of it, but it comes in different sizes. And then I'm gonna use, just use this piece of medical exam tissue on there. Oh, thanks, Riri. You're gonna make me cry. I'm gonna miss you guys every other week, but I'll mostly be in when it's Anne Lars' turn. I'll be in chat there, and you'll. I mean, I'm a regular at a lot of the chats. Hi, Jackie. And then you can actually roll that off, the paint that's on there. So the gel plate can be hours of fun. And that's the other thing. I can't remember the last time where I just jelly printed by myself. Okay, so you can turn that over and see what's on there. I'm tempted. Let's spray a little bit of this Distress Spray Stain Tarnished Brass. I found it in my stash, and it still had the cover. So that's going to take a bit to dry. I'll just spray some on there too. And then wipe its noses. Right, Janet? Okay, now why? I'm still really crooked. Why am I so crooked? Okay. So we can use inks. We can use sprays. That's going to take a little while to dry, so I'm just going to blot a little bit of that up. So we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to pull it with another color. And I think I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay. So that's cool. I haven't used that color before. All right, let's grab out, while that's drying, let's grab this out. And we haven't done any of my stamps. So let's do some stamps. Let's do, let's use some orange or black. I like the black. Should we add something less vibrant? So the nice thing about doing these big collage master boards is that you don't, try not to worry about the cohesiveness. It's kind of like doing a master board when you cut it up. It's gonna work out. So even pushing right now, I can feel my abs are sore. Put a bit of this on here too. Sure. Okay, and then you always have to wipe that. This is one of my other stamps that I like. It's kind of just mark making. And then you have to always wipe your stamps. Riri says, I've ordered a couple of gel plates and paint and sprayers for your grandkids. I think they'll have a blast on a rainy day. Definitely. Definitely. Now this paint, this yellow ochre, is very opaque. So when you're gel printing, pay attention to what's opaque and what's transparent. So this is opaque. So I'm going to probably pick this up with black. I don't know if you can see through there. So I'll pick that up with some black, I think. Or maybe Prussian blue would be cool. Okay, so if you have a container with water or a sink, you can throw those in there, or you can wrap it in like a wet baby wipe after you've wiped it. You can wrap it up. So I'm looking forward to the new year. I'm looking forward to working on other projects. Yes, Shannon, I've been taking the Tylenol. It's definitely helped. So we'll let that dry. This one's not quite dry, so let's use these little shapes. Yeah, it reminds you how things can change in like a second, right? Like one day you're fine, and I never fall, but apparently sometimes I do fall. Oopsie, I did the wrong side. I like to do the paper side. Well, and my sister-in-law was here. She was an RN, so she checked me out and kept an eye on me, gave me ice from the back of my head, and so yeah, so I'm all good. I'm all good. Okay, let's do, since I mentioned Prussian blue, let's add some Prussian blue. I was hoping this would be sort of like a jewel toned masterboard, but okay, so let's do a little bit. Now the other thing you can do with the gel plate is you can just make marks in it with different things. Like you can use needlework, the plastic canvas, you can use bubble wrap, you can use wooden shapes from the dollar store. It's really endless. And I'm sorry, this stream is just I'm being very jumbled here, but if you watch my playlists, I tend to use lots of different things on the gel plate. Let's put a bit of this, and I believe I put some yarn in there. I believe this paint is, this one says it is opaque, so I don't think I want to go over that. And then you can use like just marquee tools to just kind of do your own thing. If you don't like it, you can just roll it out if it's still wet. So that's kind of cool. So I'm gonna let that dry and then we'll add another layer. You can just add layers and layers and layers. Let's just put that there. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Lisa Welch. Thanks for coming, guys. And there's a little bit left over there. Cool. What else do I have on my side here? I still haven't used my stencil. You can use wooden shapes from the dollar store. Yeah. Okay. And then you can test if it's dry. You just sort of kind of do that. And if it's dry, it doesn't come up. This is almost dry. Let's go ahead. Let's pull this with a neutral color. It's going to lift up here where it's still a bit wet. Let's use, we could use this pale olive. Oh gosh, it's tight. Okay, I need my handy dandy opener. I like using alcohol inks on the gel plate. They do make your plate yellow though. I like using pan pastels. I think we're going to use that on the other the big peggy there. So I'm just going to use this muted color. This is Winsor Newton Pale Olive. It's similar to one of the colors that Robin McClendon likes called Celadon in Golden. So typically the main way to pick up your pattern when you're gel printing is with wet acrylic paint, and all the layers kind of meld together. Now something there was still wet, but that's okay. And we don't have to make these line up or square. I'm just going to push that down. Okay. Hi, Christy Hartman. Christy is one of the fellow designers from PM Studio. Oh, I wanted to use that Sophia Lupi stencil, didn't I? Okay, this one here, that's got my, we were going to use Prussian blue. Let's use Prussian blue. Or we could use this one, this light blue permanent. Karen at Slapping Paper on Paint on Paper introduced me to this color, enabled me to get that color. And we can use a little bit of, where's that Prussian blue? I thought I could use a little bit of it. Just a little bit. And then we'll use a small brayer. Now people think that using these small plates, like these minis, is easier because it's smaller. I actually find it harder. I really think if you're just starting, I think the 5x7 is a great size. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of skip roll to get some random colors there. I should put some on here. There we go. Put some on there. And that's too much paint. It's going to take forever to dry, so I'm just going to roll a little bit more off. And my brayer kind of made some screechy things. I'm going to have to stick it here, underneath here, because I didn't plan that. I'm just going to slide it there underneath. I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see that. Zoom out. I just kind of stuck it under this acrylic plate. So putting acrylic plate under your gel prints, under your jelly plates is a good way because you can turn it over and see what it looks like. So we're going to let that set. And we'll pull this off. Hi, Lori Paint Girly. All right, so that's nice. I like that. So, like I said, I'm not really doing a color theme. I'm just doing a bunch of random colors. Hi, Sherry. So it's mostly dry. Where it wasn't fully dry, the paint stayed on here, but that's okay because that gives you some grunginess. All right, let's do something with this puppy here. So we've got kind of two different paints on there. What if we could put it here. Let's do that. And let's use I'm going to use this color here, Lizarin Crimson. And this might end up being like the most ugly masterboard ever, but it's okay. It's just paper. If I don't like it when I fold it up, I could just cut it up and use pieces. I don't have to, not everything has to be amazing. So I'm just gonna draw some circles in here just to make it a bit different. Put it there. Hey, Anne. So that's Anne-Lar. Anne-Lar, do you want to put the link to your channel? I was telling people that we're going to be alternating our stream time in the new year. So there we go there. Another thing I like to do is I like to mix up matte and metallics. So this here is more of a like a matte colored paint, and I know a lot of people have been buying the what's it called, the NYE Pro iridescent metallic paints, and they're really cool and I'd like them, but to get them in Canada it's pretty pricey. So I found this iridescent medium at the Walmarts. It's Royal Lagnical, which is a good brand. This was not expensive. I don't remember how much it was, but I found if I mix this with another color, let's say, what color? Like this one here. That's the Prism Violet and the iridescent on black paper. So that's maybe a dupe for the NYE Pro if you were thinking you wanted them. Let's do the Prism Violet here. Thanks, Star. So I'm putting a little bit of each, and I'm just going to mix it here because where you mix it might not show. So you can see you get that still that iridescent kind of feeling. So I'm going to put some onto here. And I'm going to brayer it. So I'm not going to do any image transfers today, but a lot of people enjoy image transfers. I do have a playlist of image transfers, so you can check that out. Okay, and we're going to put this down. I'm going to overlap it on this one because I find it's kind of cool on dark colors. Okay. So we've got all sorts of, usually I'm not staying in a color family, but often I will kind of stay more of a, that's not quite ready. Let's do this bird on here. This is a wooden shape. That's going to pick up the paint off of it. And let's go ahead. I had Sophia's, I thought I had her stencil ready to go. Where did it put? Oh, it's under here. Put these loopies on there. Maybe just on the bottom. And then we'll pick this up with black, and then you'll see how it shines. That should be pretty cool. Okay, now let's do a little bit of that too. All right, let's get out Big Peggy. Pull that up. And let's pull this up. So that's the how we made that one iridescent. See how it really shines on top of that dark blue? It really shimmers. And then I do like the Dee Dee was showing the flash paints today. I really like those too. So let's get out Big Peggy here. And this one, I'm gonna add some pan pastels to some areas just to show you. So pan pastels are dry medium, so you don't have to wait for it to dry before you add more paint. So I'm gonna grab, and these colors look a bit different because the plate is yellow. So let's just go crazy. Let's add some green. And this is dry, so I can not worry about wrecking my pan pastels. And then I'll have to decide what color to pick this up with. And then let's do yellow. And let's do some orange. Over here. Sorry, I got so much stuff on here. How am I doing for time? Orange and some pink and some other orange. And then you can clean up between pan pastels with a paper towel. Now, when you use pan pastels on artwork or a coloring book, you have to fix it. You have to spray it to prevent it from coming off. But I find when I use it on the gel plate, it pretty much fixes itself. The paint kind of sticks to it. Okay, so just kind of like a little area there. Let's do the buttons. The buttons. So I'm not really thinking ahead, so I'm probably going to just pick this up with like a metallic white or something. So I'm just adding just different colors. I did a whole stream of this using the shirt. Just going over my other pan pastels and then adding some gold. So I think my goal today is I'm making the most uncohesive, ugliest gel print. So I'm just filling in where I had those stamps that I made with the wax seals and hot glue. I'm just filling in those with some gold as well. And maybe we'll pick this up with a mixture of colors. I'm not sure yet. Should we do... Let's do some... Let's continue this orange down here. And then when we fold this, it won't make any sense at all. Like you'll be like, I don't know what that is. So I'm putting in some purple, some pink, magenta. I'm going back to my comfort zone of vibrant colors. I just can't help it. Robin McClendon does a lot of more muted colors, and she does gorgeous work, and I'm very inspired by her. This is like a teal blue, and I'm just going to do kind of like random colors here behind here. Let's do some red. We haven't done any red. Some more orange. Just kind of mixing it up. I'm putting my hair in there too. And how about this yellow? You guys can't even see what I'm doing down there. And then we could do a bit of orange here. It's a really fast way to colorize your gel plate prints. So that's red. Let's do Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow. Let's do some green. So gel plating doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be art in itself. And, ooh, teal, my favorite color, turquoise teal. Okay, so that's a lot of color on there. So I'm not making this make sense. I'm gonna put gold there too. I don't know why. And then we're gonna pull it. So I could put more stencil layers, more paint layers, but due to time, we're just gonna go for it. Ooh, let's use some copper. Okay. So that's just a bunch of randomness there. And instead of hand pastels, you can use makeup. And I've used that many times. You can use makeup. This is from the drugstore. You can use dollar store makeup. You just don't want anything with really chunky glitter. Okay, so now we're gonna pick this up onto the back side of this. And I'm gonna use several colors. Thinking I could do black here. Okay, I'm gonna do black over here, just this part. And then let's do this light blue for the rest. Let's do this metallic white over on this quadrant. And here, ooh, we didn't do any quinacridone nickel azo gold. That's a cool color. Actually, instead of the white, let's use parchment or something. Yeah, we use parchment. Okay, y'all with the tour? Okay, so, and some of these they're gonna kind of mix together, and that's okay. So that's parchment. I'm gonna put this one on last because it dries the fastest. The fluid acrylics dry really fast, and metallics dry really fast. Just gonna put a little bit of black just in this corner. We're gonna do some blue here, and I feel like it's pretty good. I have no idea what it's gonna look like. Hi, Becca. Did I say hi to you, Liz? I think I did. I feel like I'm missing people. I'm sorry if I'm missing you. Let's just put that around a bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna use my 4-inch brayer, and I need to have a brayer offshoot at the ready because it's gonna get muddy fast, I think, with all these random colors. So I'm gonna start with this one here. And then next I'm gonna go to this blue. I'm gonna do the black last, and then we'll do whatever goes down first is what you see the most of. And I'm gonna try to kind of incorporate those colors. And then we'll do a bit of black. So I like the spontaneity of gel printing. I like that I don't really necessarily know what's gonna happen. Another inspiring gel plating artist is Art Whisperer. There's so many people do amazing gel printing, but Art Whisperer 88. He recently shared that he's going through some health struggles, and you should check him out. So I'm just trying to even that to make it a little bit less thick so it doesn't take so long to dry. Okay, so we're gonna put this on top of here. Okay, and I'm trying to push it down. So this paper is a Canson mixed media paper. So it's a little bit thicker. If it was thin paper, it does wrinkle a little bit with the moisture content of the paint. So here I can feel, because it was still a bit wet from this print, I can feel it's kind of wrinkling there. A lot of people use Baron. I just have this Speedball Baron, and it helps you put direct, flat, firm pressure. Some people have fancy wooden ones that are beautiful, but unfortunately in Canada it's hard to get everything that you guys get in the States, but we all can, you know, make do. Hi, Belinda. Fran, someone said hi to Fran. Hi, Bonnie. I don't see Fran. If you're Fran, oh, there's Fran's Creative Corner. There we go. Hi, Fran. Okay, so I'm getting that really good push. And we're gonna let that dry. And I'm hoping we can work on this top side while it's drying. All right, so this is what the bottom's gonna kind of look like, subtracting out the yellow from the plate. So it's just gonna be very random and colorful. Hey, Lori. Yes, they're called Baron, and my husband has trouble calling them Baron. When he gel printed with me, he kept calling it, well, the brayer, he kept calling different things. And then you can use your brayer off papers for collage fodder or whatever. So I'm looking forward to 2026. I'm going to be more careful. I'm not going to fall. Okay, what else we got? I didn't really use this stencil yet. This was my double vision. What if we use some transparent paint and layer? Maybe not over everything, but could do is just thinking. Like I said, I don't have everything planned when I stream. I think I want more of that. What if we transition the pink into these sort of neutral colors here? It's so hard for me not to go for like bright turquoise and stuff. That's too bright. Well, maybe if we mix it together. Okay, let's do, what if we do a section here, like just part of the gel plate? We could do that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the full gel plate, but we're gonna stamp part of it on. So let's do some random colors. This is turquoise blue, and I'm just gonna do the whole thing. Train Lucy to be Lassie. Oh, Brenda, okay, so I fell, and when I fell and landed on the back of my head, I dropped the leash. I totally dropped the leash. And do you think Lucy came to see if I was okay? No, she started walking away like, come on, Mom, let's keep walking. Like, she just was like, she would have just, you know, she would have just left me there. She wouldn't have went to get help. She's so funny. I'm like, thanks a lot. And then, so then I went straight home because I didn't know if I was going to like pass out or something. And, oh gosh, let's go ahead and put some of this. Oh, that one's not open. Let's not use that. Let's use this. I said I was going to use transparent paint, wasn't I? This is not transparent. And that turquoise blue is not transparent. Oh, I don't want to use the bright. See, normally I would be like, let's use this. But I'm trying to use something, I'm trying to be more subtle. Let's use this vermilion, which is semi-transparent. I accidentally trimmed it, yes. It normally has a, if you order it from PM Studio, it will have a strip around it. But I had a wee bit of a problem. So here, I'm just adding some layers. Well, and Becca, I believe you're in a wheelchair, right? You would definitely want your pets to be more, you know, helpful. So that's cool, I like that. Yeah, but you know, we don't all have Lassie, do we? Okay, now I'm thinking I would like a transparent pink. Okay, I'm going to use, is this magenta transparent? This magenta is semi-transparent. Crimson. I'm going to use this. And what we're going to do is, normally when this is like a, we call it like a long haul. Normally what I would do is I would, I like to use my long hauls with paint underneath, but a lot of people just do no paint underneath, but I like to do paint underneath. But I'm going to just pick this up, and that blue paint is still going to be a bit wet, and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to plop it down. And we're going to get some of that up, and some of it we're not going to get up. So I'm just going to plop that there. Becca says, Jughead usually comes over, lick my face. He gets so excited when I'm on the floor with him. Right? Oh my gosh, they are funny. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that off. That's kind of cool. And then, I'm not going to put it here, but I could save that and pull it with another color at the end. So I'm going to let that dry now. And you can see when you do the long haul, you get lots of different colors there. They didn't all go here, some did. But because we're pressed for time, ooh, we still have to do this bird. I don't think this, you know what, I'm gonna pull this bird separately. I don't think the bird really fits the vibe, but I'm gonna show you what I mean. I'm gonna use black. We could do, there's still some paint left on this. Let's just put a bit of the paint down here if it's gonna, oh, I forgot. There's more paint on that side. Let's just do that. There we go. I gotta wash my hands. Gotta wash my hands. So this is why when I stream, you should see my room. It's an absolute disaster. Okay, so I'm gonna just pick this up with black on something else. I'm not gonna incorporate it in here, but you get the idea that you can use wood shapes, right? How am I doing for time? I have 1 more hour, right? Because I still want to pick this up, fold it, and add some collage to it. So I'm just going to use black with, this is medical exam paper, just to show you that I use a dry brayer. So sometimes you brayer off and your brayer gets dry, but sometimes if you use it too soon, it's not quite dry yet. And then it mixes the colors. All right. So I'm just going to make that a little bit thinner. So this is the paint that we added the iridescent medium to. Diane, once I fell on the ice one time and my pit bull tried his best to wake up family members to help me. See, that's the kind of dog I need. Thankfully, so you're gonna see that iridescent color when that dries. Thankfully, we live in a neighborhood now. We don't live quite, oopsie, we don't live in you know, in the boonies. All right, so let's add some of this Sophia stencil here. Maybe in this quadrant. I did want to add this too. Okay. I do have another 8x10 plate. Let me pull that out. I do have another 5x7. Let's use the 5x7. So if you just have a couple plates, you just have to wait for things to dry. If you're streaming and you want things to go quick, then you got to go quick. So let's do the same thing we did with this one. We'll do it here. So let's use the Prussian blue. It'll help tie in. And then we'll use this weird color. Is this Prussian blue? Yeah. Okay, so this is Prussian blue. So I'm trying to do a little bit of a lot of things, not of everything. Gel printing is very, the sky's the limit. You can do like so many things. So that's what I've got. I'm gonna just go, oh, I don't want to go on the other side of that. I'm looking for a brayer off sheet. Let me grab a fresh piece of paper. So one of these days, I'll actually do some gel printing off camera at a leisurely pace, and I'll show you what I've done, because this is, I'm getting less and less room here. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. That's a Sophia stencil. I think it's called Loops or something like that. I'm going to cut a piece of that, excuse me, medical exam paper that we had. And I'm just going to use that to pick up the paint. Oh, right. So if you use If you use medical exam paper, you want to kind of use a barrier because it's going to get on your hands. So I have a lot of journals I want to be working in, a lot of themed journals that I want to make some headway in. So on my off weeks when I'm not streaming, that's something I hope to be doing. Okay, let's use a little bit of this one. And that's still wet, so I'm going to use a fresh brayer. Okay. Let's just pick it up on the same paper. Getting some of the crusty bits off, and then I'm going to pick up with this light blue that we used here. Do we use it here? I can't remember. We might use it on the other side. And then I think we'll almost be ready to pull the other side. And when you brayer off, you don't have to always make a full line. You can break it up, right? You can kind of half brayer, and that's a good base for a collage. It's like one thing leads to another. So the paint under here is wet, so I'm going to take this off and I'm going to flip it right on there. This way we don't have to wait for things to dry. I'm just going to go ahead and put it close to the edge. And this has a bit of paint on it, so I'm going to use a dry brayer. I have a dry brayer. If I don't, I'm just gonna use a smushy. I'm just gonna put some on here. That's the fun thing about gel printing is you can be grungy. It doesn't have to all be neat and tidy. So that's Sophia's stencil. Okay. I'll let that sit a little bit longer, I think. And then I can fill in these other areas with some stamping. We could do that now before I pull the other one. So let's just use this. Let's put some black. I love me some black stamping to bring everything together. All together now. Sorry, I'm not really watching chat super closely. So you can use the stamp to load up your stamps. So I'm just gonna kind of go that'll kind of tie it together too, right? Add some sprays. Kind of grungify it a little bit. And I can wipe that. And let's see, we have the other. Well, let's do the mathy one. I like this mathy one, the sketchy math. There's 4 stamps in this set, but I think they're kind of fun. I don't have enough ink on there. And then, is that going to come off? This might go. Let's put it there. I don't know if that's going to stay there. And I still have some paint on this. We just fill in there, get rid of that white space. Okay, so I don't have as much of a headache today, but after this I'm gonna take it easy, reduce my screen time for a bit. If you're just coming in, I was telling people that I had a bad fall yesterday and I hit my head pretty bad, but I feel much better today. Oh, that's yummy. Look at that. Woo! Yummy, yummy. I love that. And then we still have more grunginess that we can pull later, right? The gel printing, it's like it never stops giving. And I like how it broke up that circle. I like how it transitions here. You got a bit of that here. And then that wasn't almost dry, so it dried in no time. So we got a little less of the flowery, more of the grungy. And then here we could always, we can add color, we could spray it, but I'll do that once I fold it. So let's pull this. Pull this and see how our pan pastel shirt and random items, how it turned out. So you'll always get a bit of pan pastel left over on your plate. You can do ghost pulls, and then eventually you won't be able to get any off. So you just, that's when you get out your baby oil and you clean it. And if little pieces stay off, whatever, it's grungy. So I like it. I mean, not as like a full print, but I think when we cut it up, it's going to be interesting. See? What do you guys think? I'll bring you in closer. So that's the pan pastel and just different colors underneath. So I'm going to put this aside and we're going to work on folding this puppy. This on my other desk. So after the stream, I'll probably pull those little extra extra bits that are left over. Let's see how these work though. So this is the iridescent dupe with the bird. So see, that's very subtle. So it gives you that iridescent. That's mixing this with another paint. But you can get the same thing with like metallic paints. You can buy craft metallic paints. You can buy color shift paints. So that was just an idea I had because I was really tempted by those Nick Pro paints that Dee Dee was showing that other people use on jelly plating, but I can't really justify ordering them in Canada because even on Amazon it's pretty pricey. So this I'll pull later with another color, and that would be fun collage paper. Put that in my collage paper section. And then just trying to get my stencils out of here so they don't get stuck to everything. So we've got time, we can come back to that. And then we also have this one. Actually, let's just put a color on that and pull it. I'm thinking like just some pinks. Let's just do that, and then it can dry while we're folding, adding collage. I think this will be fun. I'm not doing an ombre. I'm just going to do the skip rolling, which I used to call it random braiding, but I saw Jackie Bernardi, who's another inspiring gel printing artist. She calls it skip rolling. And it just turned into one. It wasn't really, I didn't really skip roll that very well. It just kind of turned into one color. But I'm going to get a piece of paper. Next week, I'm going to do a giveaway. Whatever, I don't know what we give away, but I'll also show my Christmas Happy Mail. And, oh, I had that, my sister-in-law made me a little golden book junk journal, which I'll show really quickly. Bye, CB. Did I say hi to Linda? Hi, Linda and Tim. Good to see you, CB. Thanks for coming. All right, so let's cut this now. So we're gonna fold this, let that dry. I'm just gonna put it on there. Okay, so we're gonna fold this in half. So we're making basically like a big zine, but I want it two-sided. Maybe I do have to make it into a Meander book after all. Well, either way, we're gonna fold it in half. I think I wanna make it so that you see both sides. If I do a zine, you don't really see both sides. I didn't really think through that, did I? What if we do... Okay, I'm gonna try... So Meander book, you cut it so that it... Oh, shoot. Okay, we're gonna make this into a Meander book, I think, after all. Because if I do it zine style, you're not going to see both sides, right? Help me, people. My concussion is messing with me. Okay. If I do a zine, I don't think you see the inside of a zine. Am I wrong? Okay, we're gonna make this a Meander book. I'm calling an audible here. So I'm gonna fold both of these. It's hard to see the middle because the paint is so dark. Okay, I'm making a changing it to a meander book. That's kind of cool how those two kind of went together. So we're going to fold each side into 4. So that was a bit of a brain cramp on my side, on my part, hey? Okay. So I'm folding in half and half, hot dog way, and hamburger style. Okay. So now it's hard for you to see, but I'm going to cut here 3, I'm going to cut here 3, and I'm going to cut here 3. And I'm just going to use scissors because X-Acto knife is a little hard to see. I could actually I don't think this will fit in my cutter, will it? It'd be nice to make it straight. Yeah, it will fit in my cutter. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm gonna line that up. Try to keep that somewhat straight. Am I on the... This is the tricky part because I might have to trim some edges. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to go up to this fold here. Okay. And then this time I'm going to cut, we'll do this side here, and then we're going to cut up after. It's a bit, this one's easier for me to see for some reason. I'm going to cut up to here. And we're going to cut the other way. So we are making a meander book, not a zine. And again, this is one sheet of Canson mixed media. I think it's, I can look up the size in a second. Okay. All right, let's meander this puppy and then we'll see if we can pick out some collage for it. Okay, so now the way you meander it is you fold. You kind of alternate folding like an accordion. So I'm just kind of folding it and letting it meander. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in and then we'll do a flip of our meander book and then look for collage paper. So I did want, my goal was to do a richer tone than this one. This one was more vibrant to go with the art by Marlene. This one I want to put in subject matter that's maybe a bit darker, like maybe from some sticker books or something like that. Okay, so let's do a little meander through this. Michelle has a goal to pass 400 subbies by 2026. So close. Everybody go sub to Curiously Michelle. If Dar hasn't put her link in, you can also see on the Instagram, the Streamathon. Well, that's okay, Dar. You can see on the Streamathon schedule, you can find Curiously Michelle. Thank you, Dar, so much for being such an awesome mod. Have a great appointment. I really appreciate you and all of your help in 2025. Looking forward to 2026. Hi, Jolu. Okay, so you're going to see that it doesn't matter that there was no cohesive color because we're just going to add little bits and pieces to each of these. Okay, so I didn't pre-plan, oh, this shape is going to be cut in half on this page or whatever. If I don't like that pink, I can just make sure I put my sticker over it, right? And then, so that's one half of the Meander book. And then you go the other way. And then this one, so this, sometimes you have to flip out this way. And then you go back the other way. I hope I'm holding that in the right spot. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna wait for a second. And then you flip it like that. And if I didn't like how all the flips are of this section, like the vertical flips, I could fold it the other way. So I could unfold it and I could just decide to, okay, I want to do it the opposite way. So I'm going to fold it the opposite way, and that's going to make the insides more of the other color. So I'm just doing the total opposite here. Okay, so now it sort of changed how the book flips open. See, I like how that kind of looks like mountains. So to me, I'm going to make the book flip this way. I'm going to make this the top because I really like how that opens up that way. This looks like a sea. I could put like a little lighthouse here and a boat over here. This looks like ocean. I could put some fish or some mermaids on there. So here I like how it looks like mountains. So I could use Poscas and I could like draw a landscape in there. Maybe there's 3 suns in this world. Sorry, I'm not holding it. This looks like ray of lights coming out from that side. Looks like fireworks. I could see putting like 3 people on here or some people sitting. And then now we meander the other way. And I like how it meanders. I like having these more random things in the middle. So you can fold it 2 different ways and see which way you like better. So I definitely like this way better. I think it's pretty cool. It's like doing a masterboard where you don't know what you're going to end up with. And I don't care that it's like not even. Like, I don't care. That doesn't bother me. Okay, I'm gonna wipe my hands here. So if we're thinking, yes, it's a folding book. It's some people call it a accordion style or a meandering or a concertina, I think is the other name for it. Bye, Christy. Thanks for coming. Christina is making a template now. So yeah, so basically, if I get a piece of paper, so let's say, and you can do it for any size, right? Let me just grab a piece of copy paper. So I folded it. Here's the template. And Dee Dee's done this quite a bit. So basically you fold it in half this way. Okay. Fold it in half. That's called hot dog style. Okay. And then you fold each of those in half. Fold each of those in half. And depending on the size of paper, you'll get different size pages. Okay. So that's the hamburger folds, the hot dog folds. And then you do the hamburger folds. So in half. Sorry, I should zoom out. In half. And Dee Dee's explained this before. She used, when I did the that snark one, it was a huge piece of paper that I didn't have time to do. So I think I cut it in half and gave half of it away. Okay. And then in half. So now you have this. So what you do is you cut here up to here. You don't go past there. Then you cut from the top to here. You don't go past there. And then you cut from here to there. So then So when you cut here, cut here, cut here, then you just fold it following. So you fold it, keep folding it, go around the corner, you fold it. So that's why it's a Meander book. Concertina is the other one. So that's a template for a Meander book. Whereas a zine, the template is you just fold it in half once, in half that way, in half again, and then you cut here. So that's more of a zine template. But then when you fold it, you don't really get to see both sides. The inside is inside. So I wanted both sides to show, so I decided to do the Meander book. Okay, now if I would have taken my time, I could have made sure that it was more even, but it is what it is. So let's see. So I've just got 3 sticker books here. I've got the Antiquarian sticker book, the Botanist sticker book, so that's our Antiquarian Bibliophilia, and I've got this one, Antiquarian sticker book, the original one. And so we can just, you know, find things in here. Let's start with the Bibliophilia. Before we do that, I do have this print to pull, don't I? Let's pull this. How are we doing for time? So we have half an hour. We're just going to play in our book. So I've got lots of journals I could have showed you, but I thought let's just play and you guys will get a sense if you don't know me. I recognize most of the people here, so a lot of you know me. So that's the other one, the other print we did with the leftover paint that was on the gel plate. And now this gel plate is clean and ready to put away. Okay, so while I'm looking through the sticker books, does anyone have any questions for me? What time do I stream? Oh, Michelle, what time does Michelle stream? I don't know. But that reminds me, I'm changing my streaming time. If you came in a bit later, I am going to be streaming every other week on Wednesdays. Instead of my usual time, which was 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm switching to 1 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to be alternating with Anne Lar. So this I just pulled out. I liked how the colors went. I don't really have an idea of what else is going to go on this page. I'm just going to fussy cut the border of the sticker off. So that's my new streaming schedule. Wednesdays, every other week. I'm doing the first and the third week of every month of Wednesday, and Anne Lar's doing the second and fourth of every Wednesday, of second and fourth Wednesdays of every month. And on months where there's 5 weeks, we will stream together, probably do some collage or some jelly printing. And does a lot of really cool collage and a lot of different things. She does a lot of different things. Yeah, so yeah, it'll be earlier, so maybe that might help some people come. So I'm going to put that there. Maybe that's kind of like her shadow or something. Or I'm going to put her there. I'm going to use on acrylic paint. You really have to use. You can't just use glue gun. It won't stick. I learned that from Dee Dee. So I'm going to just use my Aleene's Tacky Glue. So this isn't going to be a snark journal. It's just going to be random bits and pieces. Bye, Shelley. Good to see you. Thanks. Yeah, I'm happy with how that shirt print worked out. Now, I don't, because I'm going to other week, it's not that I don't enjoy streaming. I do find that when I stream with the limited time frame, I don't have a lot of time to be second guessing. Oh, do I like this? Do I like that? You just kind of get her done, and I do like that. But I do feel like I just need a bit more time to art off camera, and so I'm not always just cleaning up, and I'm not just always cleaning up after myself and getting ready. So I could put this here. I don't think I'm going to, because this would be too hard to fussy cut, but. And you can put words or not put words. These are ones I had extra. She might be kind of cool. So this bug would go there with the colors. If I wanted to fussy cut, that's too much to fussy cut. I don't want to do that. She would look kind of cool on that one page where I said I could see something sitting on there. This one. I think she'd look cool here. So I wanted to use her, and then I changed my mind. I could put her there, and I could put a cat behind her. And then we could put a quote about books. Yes, Anne and I are going to be streaming individually. We're just going to be alternating. And then if there's 5 weeks in a month, then we'll stream together on the 5th week. Right, Anne? So I'm not the quickest fussy cutter. I learned from Dee Dee that you rotate your paper, not your scissors. And then you just kind of gradually do that, and then so next week I will be streaming, so I'm taking January 7th, and I wrote it down. January 7th, and oh, I missed it. January 7th and 14th, and Anne is doing, that's not right. 7th and 21st. Anne, can you put in our dates for January? I'm doing January 7th, and then I'm doing 2 weeks after, which I can't do math. I'm blaming my concussion, but I don't think it's my concussion. And then if you don't fussy cut like perfectly, these little borders, you can just use ink to kind of hide the border. Thanks, Yuta. Happy New Year to you too. I don't get why they leave a border at all. I think it's because just for ease of printing, I think to have things exactly would be difficult. I think they would cut off images. So I think it's probably, from a printing perspective, it's probably just easier for them to have a border. That's my guess. I don't know anything about printing or whatever, but okay, so we're gonna put her. I'm just gonna use, do I have a bit of an ink pad? Excuse my reach. Just gonna kind of do that to get some of the white edges off. Oh, her head's really pointy there. Unpointify her. And then when people ask you, what do you do with your art? You just say, I pet it. I keep it, I pet it. It makes me happy to do it. It's therapy, like it gets your mind. You can't be thinking about all your worries when you're in the middle of doing a nonsensical collage, right? So I'm gonna put her, here it is, Eileen's Tacky. So I just put a bit of Eileen's Tacky, and then I spread it out with my glue stick. So yeah, I wanted to be doing some other stuff off camera, like I want to work on learning to use gouache paints, painting faces. I want to do more color book coloring. Okay, and then I'm going to put her little cat beside her. It's a big cat. And I could look for the a more perfect image, but like Dee Dee says, sometimes you just gotta pick it. You just gotta make a decision. And that's what streaming has taught me, is like I can hem and haw, but then I'm not gonna get anything done. So this is my streaming style. I just kind of play. I just don't really know. I don't practice ahead of time what I'm going to be doing typically. I just kind of have a concept, experiment together. You will see my failures. There's many of them. You will see my successes. There's some of them. And hopefully it's a lot of fun. And I really appreciate my chat, people that come to watch me. They're great people, and I appreciate my replay watchers, especially, you know, if you leave a comment. I really like that. I forgot to ink the edges, but that's okay. So let's put him here like he's reading over her shoulder. Ideally, I wouldn't really want to put him in the crease, but okay. And shall we give them, it's like a big pillow or something. Let's give them some stars. Lady reading seems like she would have a chunky cat. Yes. So let's do some splatter with this beautiful ink. I'm just going to cover the main characters. Get a floppy brush. I'm a bit challenged when it comes to splatters. So I usually just use my hand instead of like tapping. I don't know. It depends on the paint. And then I would probably ink the edges in black. I think we can do that in a minute. And then let's just give them a little bit of a ground here. Okay. I'm going to use this art crayon. And I'm just going to blend that in. Then we could add more gold if we want. This is just the King Art crayon. Cheap. King Art mixed media gel stick. I should have done this before I did the splatter, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, and then we could actually use gold to outline the page even. A lot of these tricks I learned from Dee Dee. If you want more gel printing tips, like I kind of know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't always explain things well. But if you want really good explanations, I highly recommend checking out PM Artist Studio. They're not in the Streamathon, but so I think this is going to be the thumbnail for today's stream, probably. So I'm just using a bit of a gold pen just to outline that. Maybe do a little bit more of the, I didn't want the bright gold here on the floor. So that's the, so those were the stamps I made out of wax seals, but using hot glue. And then I glued them on a piece of cardboard and I used them on the gel plate. I don't remember what this was. I think it was part of the shirt. But I feel like I achieved my goal, which was to go with a more rich palette, even though it didn't seem like it was going that way. I do like vibrant grunge like this, but I like that. I like everything. That's my problem. I like it all. All right, we've got 15 minutes left, so let's see. What should we do? I'm just going to heat gun that a little bit. Should we just keep looking for images to collage. And I could put a quote about solitude, or I could put a quote about reading. I could put a moon. You can add as little or as least as you want. I don't know. So let's just, let's find something for that page. Could do an owl. This lady here would look kind of cool, maybe. This jumping person. Like, I don't know what she's jumping for. I could put her on either side. I think I'd put her here, and then I'd put something else over there. So let's just put a pin in that. I'm just going to put her there for a second. Let's see if there's something else here. Oh, this whale would be good for one of those sea pages. Right? Didn't we have like a... I kind of felt like this looked like the ocean. Once I fussy cut, I could put him on that page. I don't know, I'm just getting ideas. Sometimes when you see something in the sticker book, you have to kind of go with it. Otherwise, you lose it. What about this little... We could put her there. Like, she's like a corn on the cob person. Could do that. And then she's jumping, looking at her. And then you just... you know, make up your own stories. And these books have such ridiculous stickers. Like, look at this. This guy, what's he doing? I could put him in the ocean with the whale. That's just... Oh, it cracked me up. I could fussy cut him and put him here. And this guy's like, what the heck is that? Oh, thanks, Lady J. Oh, thanks for coming. Thanks, Gina. Thank you, guys. That's very kind. I don't know if those are going to end up there, but... Oh, gosh, that makes me laugh. I guess I like... This isn't snark, but I guess I like to see the humor in things. So I'd probably put those, fussy cut them, you know, paint out this edge, put those there. I just find fun in the bizarreness. I don't know if anything else is striking me. He's doing that Kira TikTok trend. So I don't know if those are going to end up on that page. I just have them there for now. And then this here... Let's see. That I'm going to make just a landscape. I'm not going to add, I don't think I'm going to add a sticker to that. I'm just going to add some lines to highlight the landscape maybe. But this would be fun. Let's see, is there something for this page? This lady's kind of weird. We could put her there. Like she's looking at the fireworks. And like they look like flowers, and she's got flowers on her. But she's got, I don't know, she's got a lot of green. I'm not sure if I love her. Ah! So after me is Raul Reynolds, our our charming host. Our charming host with the most. He's going to be next. And then after Raul is Carol, my quiet corner. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Rebecca. You wanted to see the chunky cat. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. Aw. Thanks so much. Ooh, this elephant guy. That's kind of cool. I'd put him there. And like, where are you going to use these stickers? Like, honestly. Excuse me. Hi, Tina Tomazuski. So I think, let's see, should I fussy cut and do some more gluing, or do you guys just want me to keep adding ideas? Ideas. I just enjoy these random sticker books. But I don't necessarily like fussy cutting them all the time. But if you see something you like, just pull it out and then you can fussy cut it. See, this is a lot of fussy cutting, but I could put that, I could put that on top of there. I would fussy cut it. I could put him lower down, and then this flower thing coming out of him. She would be fun on a page. Let's see if we can find a spot for her. And then I think I would definitely want something else on this page, but do we have a page? What about the page that had the, does that work? Not bad. I'm ready for lunch. I can hear them making lunch downstairs. Just trying to decide. Would she go somewhere? Don't know. I'm not feeling her for this book. I'm not feeling her, so I'm going to put her back. But maybe this snail. I could put the snail here, and this lady be like, what is that snail doing over there? So I'll fussy cut that out. I'll add that here, draw a ground, maybe put something weird up there. Just getting ideas. We could put this bright flower up top too. This could go, you could put that there and like cut it off. So if we fussy cut this. Sorry if you hear people chatting downstairs. I have company, so I won't be able to come to everybody's live streams today and tomorrow because our company is from out of town and they're here till the 2nd. But I'm going to watch all the replays. So this is a lot easier to fussy cut than some of the other stuff. But ooh, birds are good. So this is just going to be kind of a random little collage book. So I think I would put this sort of in the corner like that. I glue it and then I would cut the edges off. Hi, Carol's Crafty Canvas. Good to see you. Hey, Barbara Chicken Pot Pie. I'm losing my voice here. See, this one I'm not going to fussy cut on stream because that's a little bit tricky. But he's going to go about there. Or maybe here. Actually, I feel like there'd be a better... I feel like he's not as... I don't like his head position, how it's down. I think I'd want him up more. So I think I'd put something else here. I like to do by color. Like I need the color to sort of take me in. What about this little, that would be good. He's kind of flying up like Icarus. He's flying up to the sun and she's saying, no. He's saying, goodbye, sweet maiden. And then we can like add stuff. Hi, Dana Yates. So I'm just getting ideas. And then I can fussy cut later. Hi, Lucy. See, I could even, I'm not going to do this, but I could even take this bunny, this guy here, and I could put him into my world. And I could just outline like the landscape. And it's like he's reading a story. And that's the story he's reading about this world. So I could like kind of like separate the foreground, or even with gold. Maybe there's a tree behind him. I could draw like a tree there. I could outline these mountains. Maybe there's a castle here. I could find like a castle sticker. And then that's like our sun. And then I would fussy cut him and put him there. Like he's telling a story. The bunny has a great view. So lots of ideas. And just don't get too, you know, set on, just don't take it too seriously, I guess. I think this year, coming forward, I'm going to, oh, that's coming apart. I'm going to focus on my art journaling, I think, more. So I think I'm going to call that time, and this will give you guys a bit of a chance before you go to Raul's live stream. Give you a little bit of a chance to maybe go to the washroom, or you know, I think we'll call it there. So, the Purple Mountains of Majesty. So I had lots of fun making this little Meander book. I think it's going to be fun to just collage in it, just randomness, random silliness. I don't take my art super seriously, but I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate all my regular watchers that are here or watching the replay. I appreciate the new people that are here because of the Streamathon. And thanks again to Raul for hosting this fun event. And even if I don't get to all the streams the next couple days, I will definitely be watching the replays. And if you're watching replays of people, please leave them a comment and just let them know you appreciated them, what they did, and that you watched and you were there. And it goes a long way. I love seeing comments on my videos, my streams. So Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you in 2026. Hopefully no falls. No more falls. All right. Bye. There we go. One more step.